It's those games we play. Woo! I wonder how many people who listen to those games regularly haven't seen that video that we did. Haven't actually seen those games we played video.
Probably a lot.
Because that's what it was. It was a reference to that rap song we did.
Song, which is still, I think, probably my favorite 64K
It's
song.
pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that people didn't like that. Some people who didn't know that we were fully joking at the time thought that like an actual friend of ours had died.
That would be a really weird way to deal with somebody dying.
Yeah, especially since he's in the video.
Right? Like a funny thing about them.
If I die, I want you guys to write a funny thing about me.
Oh, I will. Don't worry.
All right.
Don't worry.
A tribute to Kathleen's farts.
I wouldn't have it any other way, Paul.
This week, James is going to talk a little bit about Tomb Raider. I'm going to finish up talking about Super Mario Bros. 2 and give some early impressions of Rayman for the 3DS. And then we're going to talk a little bit about SimCity and associated woes.
So many woes.
Whoa.
Oh, woe is SimCity.
Speaking of going, whoa, Tomb Raider?
So, do you like Uncharted?
I do.
Then you would like this game. It's Uncharted.
It
seems like Uncharted.
It seems like they came to that conclusion way later than they should have. Like,
I think so.
Lara Croft and Tomb Raider make as an Uncharted game makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it does, and it is exactly what it is. The game starts and you're on a ship and you're in exploration of whatever X, and then shit goes down and now you're stranded in the island and already bad guys are there, also probably looking for thing X. And they're heavily armed and, you know.
An island with some sort of crazy infrastructure of like corrugated rusted steel skyscrapers.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
Yeah.
So like
is it the same as Uncharted in terms of the large amounts of sort of scripted events and stuff?
I would say there's so far that I've encountered actually less scripted events, but they're definitely there. But the gameplay is very similar.
It's a little more open, I hear. As I like, not it's not open world.
No,
but you get to sort of more kind of like open worldy spaces in a linear progression.
Yes,
but you get to more sort of.
There's a lot more to do. The areas are a lot bigger.
Yeah, and
that you get to explore.
It's less strictly linear than Uncharted.
Absolutely. And so, I mean, the main difference between this and Uncharted is Lara Croft is easier on the eyes, in my opinion. Although that might not be the case for everybody. You know, Nathan Drake's a good-looking man.
He is.
I can imagine that it'd be useful if you're doing, you know, the shoulder aiming. She just takes up less of the screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she's less burly.
And then they've also introduced sort of an RPG-ish kind of thing. You level up, you get skill points, you make yourself more badass. You can upgrade your weapons. And so far, from what I've seen, there's two ways of doing that. There's a salvage technique where you just sort of grab bits and pieces from, you know, wherever you're going in little crates, and you can actually just do like sort of makeshift upgrades to your weapon.
Nice.
And then there's actual like weapon upgrades. So you find you find parts for a new bow and you build a new bow, and then you can start salvaging onto that bow and
so
making
glad
it better.
Do these salvage upgrades sometimes introduce an element of uncertainty into your weapon?
Not that I've seen so far, no.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Just like randomly breaks for no reason.
Not that I've seen. It might be there. Like one of the salvages for the.
I think it'd be worse if it did.
Yeah,
it'd be so annoying. Weapon degradation's always annoying.
It is. But like one of the salvage upgrades for the first machine gun you get is literally duct taping two magazines together to make a bigger magazine.
Nice.
And it's just like, I could see where that might go. There could be problems.
Yeah.
But no, it's a lot of fun. Like
I'm glad the bow is cool now.
The bow is so badass.
I've always liked bows in like first and third person shooters, and
the bow is super badass in this game. Absolutely.
The bow is great in Far Cry 3 as well.
Sweet. So the game says I'm 40% through. I don't know if that's 40% through the game or 40% of the game plus crap you find. Because it's again, right. You find treasure, you find geocaches, you break totems, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do. Right. You go through optional tombs.
You raid tombs.
Like last night I quit just as I entered like the first optional tomb that I found. I guess doesn't have anything to do with the story. You just go in and you.
Because there are puzzle rooms, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so there is still that aspect of the Tomb Raider.
There
games.
is still tombs and every tomb has its own puzzle, and
Right, which is a little different because, like, I mean, Uncharted had sort of technically had puzzles, except the solution to every puzzle was open his journal and look at this solution.
Right.
it's true.
But
You had to decipher what the solution was,
crap.
though.
Oh,
It's not the worst, but it's a lot of fun, and again, like, it is honestly, if you like Uncharted, you'll probably like this game. I would love to see a crossover and then for them to make babies, because that would be the most badass kid in the freaking world.
It would
just wouldn't
still
die.
be in diapers and like shooting people
Yeah,
with a
like-
pistol.
yeah,
It's one of those games where she should be dead right off the bat.
Multiple times,
but whatever. Like, she's like, in the first scene, she's like impaled on the side of the stomach, and it's never really addressed. I guess it just kind of gets better. I don't know, but
yeah, that seems
But
like
a
a
mere
pretty
flesh
serious.
wound.
yes, exactly.
I like. I mentioned it last time. I really liked Susan's review at the Escapist of like how cool and how badass and how well her characters
So far, she's
handled.
yeah, she's pretty badass. It's like you can definitely feel she's been put in a situation that this is not something that's normal for her.
Mm-hmm.
But she handles it really well, and it's pretty awesome. I like it. It's a lot of fun. So
Nice.
probably I'll have it. I would think I'll probably have it beat for next week. So I'll give you my final impressions.
Do you get double pistols?
And not yet, from what
I'm expecting you will
at some point. I would assume,
because that's pretty.
yeah, that's her
classic,
thing. Yeah,
Maybe she'll learn to enjoy double pistols.
exactly.
So I finished up New Super Mario Brothers 2. I didn't get every star coin. I got almost all of them, but I got kind of sick of trying for the couple last star coins, and I didn't do Coin Rush to get like a million friggin' whatevers. But I did do the Star World. When you beat the game, you unlock a new world with a bunch more levels, and you go through them, and then there's another castle at the end with like a bigger, scarier boss fight with like skeleton Bowser.
So it's like the real ending.
Yeah. And I beat that, but there was one part that really kept tripping me up, and then I got the like invincible tail thing where you're invincible and never goes away.
Right.
And then it was really easy. Because like
so like it was just like you died a certain number of times and they're just like, here, have this.
yeah, and I was
Is
like,
there a way of turning that off?
maybe.
I mean, you can just not take
you can
the
just
thing.
not take it.
Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'll take it. But it's
Yeah.
like there's like rotor blades that go around that if they hit you, they just go book and fall off. And the thing is, the whole thing about this level is that all the Koopa kids are in the giant flying clown head from Super Mario World, and they're in the background. And they're flying around, and the eyes of it, like it glows and glows and glows and glows and glows. Flash, and when it flashes, if you are not hiding behind, because it's way in the background, and you're in the foreground, and if you're not hiding with a wall between you and it, then you turn to stone, and you fall. And like the whole level is lava, and there's the blocks that if you stand on them for too long, they fall, or there's the conveyor belts or whatever. So if you're not hidden when it flashes, then you turn into stone and you lose and you have to restart the level.
Yeah.
And the invincibility makes you immune to that too. So the whole
Okay.
level is just like, oh, I guess I'll just take my time and get all these coins and
Yeah.
doop-a-doop-a-doo.
You kind of wish that there was like some middle ground between
Yeah.
incredibly hard and you don't even need to bother doing anything.
Yeah, like I like it that you can dodge around that you don't have to worry about dodging the enemies too much. But that sort of is the whole gameplay of that level. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just walk here. Also, it's really funny because you fight, well, I guess Bowser. You fight Bowser in like there's you and a bridge and him and a switch behind him to hit it, and then if he falls, right? But if you have the invulnerable thing, you just walk into him and he goes boop. and then you do the actual fight. Like that's like a preamble, and like you do that and you're like, was that it? And then there's the actual fight. But then this time, it's the same thing again, but if you're invincible, you can just kill
Walk
that,
into
and
him?
then you move to the actual fight, which being invincible helps you a bit.
Okay.
So the actual end fight was fine. But anyway, so New Super Mario Bros. 2, it was cool. Then I picked up Rayman Origins for the 3DS because I've been wanting to play it. It was out for 360, I think, and a couple other things. And I was like, oh yeah, Rayman Origins. I heard this was really, really good. And I love platforming. I love 2D platformers. And so I was like, sweet, I'll pick it up for 3DS.
This is one that's
hear
all
a
sort
butt
of.
coming.
It's
What?
all the one
I
that's.
hear a butt coming.
Yes.
It's all sort of hand drawn, right?
Yeah. But I have a couple reservations with it. The controls are really loose. Like Rayman fucking flies all over the place.
I think that's sort of typical for Rayman games.
Yeah, then there shouldn't be really specific like small platforms for you to hit because I jump and then he just sort of like slides off the other side.
Because he's like not connected very well, I guess.
Yeah,
So
I guess what the problem is moving directly from Super Mario Brothers to that. Like
Super
that's
Mario Brothers is so tight.
yeah. So that's probably where that's coming from. Also, the graphics, like I'm sure they look gorgeous in HD on 360, and if they released this for Vita, I bet it would be.
It is on Vita, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh well, I bet it would be amazing on the Vita. On the 3DS, the upper screen just isn't high enough resolution, and it looks not like it doesn't look blurry or muddy. It just looks sort of like it's clearly a lower resolution than they intended the game to be enjoyed at, and the graphics feel, I don't know, they feel under par because, and not because they aren't good, it's because they weren't optimized for that size. Like they were designed to be seen at like 720p, and it's not. It's very low res the 3DS screen in comparison to HD, and so it doesn't quite get there. What is really cool though is because it's all this sort of like flat plane, like 2D sort of parallax backgrounds and everything. The 3DS actual 3D function is beautiful with this game. I think it works for me better than it did on Mario.
And even for Mario, the 3D was just the background moves away, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So, there's that. But I'm only like 5 or 6 levels in, but we'll see how it goes.
Have you played a lot of Rayman before this game?
No, I've actually never played a Rayman game other than the various Rabbids games for the Wii when the Wii was pretty new.
Right.
But that's not a real Rayman game.
No.
So
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
So our big topic of discussion this week is SimCity, which I want so bad to play.
Yeah.
Do you?
I do actually.
Okay.
I
wasn't
actually
sure
wanna
because
play it.
I've never been a SimCity guy.
Yeah,
Like I've never played this game.
I don't mean that in like I want to play it, but I can't connect to the service. I don't have time to play it right now, but I really would like to. I'm so deep in editing Strip Search, I do not have time to lose entire evenings being mayor of Buttville.
Yeah, I guess the 3DS stuff works well because you can do it while things are rendering and things. Yeah.
And I do. But we were watching last night, just a random live streamer on Twitch, and we were just, you and your dad and I were just sitting there just like,
It's pretty incredible.
just watching this guy for like an hour, you know, and building his
It
town.
looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks pretty amazing.
And you were like, oh, this is the kind of game I want to play.
I do, but I'm too busy to play it right now.
Yeah, maybe when we're done Strip Search, we'll be able to get on that. And it's not like we don't have time for anything, like for any video games right now, but
SimCity
not
is definitely
SimCity.
yeah. SimCity
That
is
is
definitely
a time
an
investment.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And it's so
But it's probably good that you have to wait.
disappointing that they're having these problems.
Yeah, I mean, to me, there is a big difference between, always on DRM and this new, single player, multiplayer thing. Right?
Yeah, because it's not like not everyone, but I'm seeing a lot of it online is they're saying that this is all because of DRM, and it's not.
No.
Because the idea behind this game was that it was supposed to be an online multiplayer experience.
Yes.
That helps with DRM, but and that's probably part of it. But it's a gameplay thing that they want you to be. They want you to have this town. They want there to be another person who has like a neighboring town, and you can work together, or you can not, or you can pollute their stuff. That's supposed to be part of the gameplay. So it's not the DRM is causing these problems. It's this gameplay choice they made is causing all these problems.
Yeah.
Well, it's the Diablo 3 problem.
Yeah, exactly.
It's exactly the same situation. It's a game that previously people were used to playing offline.
Yeah.
And now when you stick it in and start playing it now, it still looks basically like a single player game.
Yeah.
But there's all this. But what you don't know is that everything you're doing is actually on a server. And like all your saves are on the server, everything is on the server, just like with Diablo. And so it's this awkward situation where it's frustrating because it's like, if you are offline, if you're offline for whatever reason, you're like, why can I not play this game? It's not like it's an MMO or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, there's this disconnect for a lot of people, I think, that is just like, this doesn't make any sense that I can't play this game that I bought because maybe my net connection is down, so I can't talk to my buddies in the next town, but I should be able to play this stupid game.
Yeah.
So
what I liked, at least from what we saw on the stream there, was that once you're in it, like unlike Diablo 3, once you're actually in it and playing, if it can no longer connect to the servers, you can keep playing.
Correct.
I thought the official word from EA was that you keep playing as long as it can maintain the thing, and then it'll drop probably a minute or two, is what the EA said.
No, I was watching someone play that, like, a thing came up and was like, the SimCity servers are down or something, attempting to reconnect, and that just stayed there.
Yeah.
For like an hour.
Oh.
And then I stopped watching. Like, it was like, once you sort of start.
Yeah, once you're in, you're in.
But what that meant was that there was no interaction with his neighbors.
Right.
So that whole part was.
But actually, I find that actually worse, more disturbing, because it is. So that means it is actually, there could be an offline version that worked perfectly well just without interaction with neighbors. But
Yeah.
doesn't. Oh, that's actually different from how I thought it was, and that's not good. I don't like that. But I mean, then it starts becoming more sort of DRM-y.
Yeah.
That there wasn't that was the main reason for it, which is a shame.
What's really bothering me now, like, see, like that I can understand, right? When it's like your brand new game launches, you somehow underestimate how much servers you need to run it, even though you're EA.
No, they know exactly how many. They probably have a pretty good idea of what the server load would be because of what Blizzard did. But you know what EA said? It's too expensive to set up all this infrastructure for a month of peak capacity, and then it is literally wasted resources sitting there. I guarantee you, they probably had a pretty good idea.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it's.
I don't think they were surprised. I think they're just like, whatever.
Yeah,
we'll
because
deal with it.
it is only for the, like, it's only going to be like X number of months where it's at sort of peak play. But the problem is, now you're in a situation like this where now people don't want to play it.
Yeah, they're going to be lucky because the time for peak play is going to be much shorter than they were hoping for.
Yeah, and it's like that's super bad. And I can understand being in a situation like that where you know that it's only going to be like that for a certain amount of time, so maybe you don't want to, build up a X whatever of resources that you're not going to use half of 6 months down the road. But what they've done now is actually, like, fundamentally take gameplay features away.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Like they've because normally you can play the game in basically slow, normal, and fast. They call it turtle speed, llama speed, and cheetah speed.
Yeah, that was from the original.
Yeah.
There's like little icons.
They've disabled cheetah speed now.
Yeah.
Because it was causing too much load on the server.
Yeah.
I guess.
So now no one can use cheetah speed, which is
dear. That's bad.
which is ridiculous because
So
then
it's
you,
like
you have
now-
to wait longer for stuff to happen.
So it's like now my game has gotten less good because EA's servers couldn't handle it.
yeah.
Well, it's what it is the accounting has to change, right? It's when they're working on designing the game and figuring out the budget for the game, there's X amount of dollars that's like, okay, if we make this an online game and we have, we do online DRM and do all that stuff, it is going to cost however many $100,000 to
Right.
do. Just the engineering cost to manage the servers, the programming cost, whatever. Built into that, they have to say it will cost an extra $200,000 to massively overdo our servers for the first month. Like
Yeah.
that just has to be part of the calculation. That does not save you money, not putting the servers in.
Yeah.
And then you can then repurpose those servers for other things. EA probably always needs servers for something.
Yeah.
Especially if they're going to do more games with this business model.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's not like servers are stuck doing that one thing forever.
Yeah.
So it is
And obviously-
very unfortunate.
That is not the way that American corporations work, though, is just to have extra capacity or extra production that may or may not be used.
'Cause no one would
That's
approve
not,
of it.
But
That's
it-
not cost efficient.
No,
I'm
no,
not saying it's
but,
wrong.
But I'm saying what
but
I'm saying is that in order that is not, it's not like in case we need it.
No, but
it is in order to make their system work.
No, I know,
This is
Paul. I know
required.
exactly what you're saying, but there is an accountant somewhere who's going to go, I don't care. That's $200,000 or $500,000, however much it costs, and then the labor to run those servers, and then the maintenance and the support, and no, who cares? Like that is literally
Well,
the
but-
financial decisions that are being
but
made.
it's like it's literally you. If you didn't like, the difference in cost is between. It's like you either do the servers and it works, or it's like you can cut all sorts of different parts of the game. You can cut like if it's like some accountant is like, no, we need to cut some money. You could cut like the actual ability to do DRM at all. Like
That's not no.
no, but it's that's what they're effectively doing. They're making it so all sorts of people can't play their game. So why did they like? There's no way can save money.
Yeah, they should have like if it's like you have X number budget and they're like, well, we can't approve that. It's like, okay, then we need to
Not do that thing.
We need to do like we need to cut
Something else.
a different part of the game. Like
Yeah.
that is not it in future at least, and hopefully they've learned this lesson from this. It should not be a negotiable part. It shouldn't be something that an accountant can axe that. If an accountant is like, we can't afford that without cutting something else, then the response should be, well, then we're going to cut the other thing because this
Yeah.
is too important.
It's the server capacity and the ability to actually do the thing are tied closely together. You
Yeah.
can't save on one or the other. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's one requires the other.
Yeah.
And unfortunately they have not.
Figured that out yet.
Well, hopefully this is only
Oh,
the second one. So
I'm
hopefully.
I'm sure they know, and I'm sure they're just like, I'm sure somebody high up said, I am not justifying paying this much money for a bunch of servers that are going to sit idle most of the time.
I'm sure that's what happened.
Yeah.
And I
I
don't
hope
think,
that person gets fired.
yeah, and I hope
Yeah.
that there's some serious blowback from it. I mean, I think certainly they knew that there may be some issues. I don't think, obviously they didn't think there would be this kind of issues.
Yeah. That's something I saw Justin McElroy musing on
It's
Twitter.
probably that SimCity is more popular than they thought it would be,
Hmm.
because there's just nothing was out that week, and everyone was kind of excited about SimCity.
Yeah.
So they were probably happy in that regard.
A lot of people excited about SimCity. Actually, it's been doing really well on Twitch this week.
Well, I mean, it's
All
being-
the streamers have been able to connect.
Yeah,
but
it's been positively reviewed. Like
Yeah.
it's been very well reviewed.
Yeah.
Except for these server issues.
yeah. And someone was saying, one of the streamers I was watching, he had 4,000 people watching, and he's like, I've been streaming for a while, and I usually get 200, maybe 300 viewers if I'm lucky. And this week I started casting SimCity, and boom, yeah.
Because people
Couldn't play,
couldn't play it, and so they're trying to play
people
sort of
who- yeah,
vicariously
yeah,
through
Yeah, I guess.
people- yeah.
This was the first instance where the Polygon adjustable review scale came in.
That was interesting.
Because they reviewed SimCity at a
9.5.
9.5, and a day or two later they took it down to an 8 because of the initial problems, and it's now a 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because of the problem?
Because of the problems, and because EA's solution has been to remove gameplay features.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, and so they're like, in a couple months we'll reevaluate it. Maybe it'll go back up, but right now it's basically not worth playing.
Right now, don't buy this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how that will, like, I wonder if Metacritic and stuff have systems in place to deal with that.
With the
Will they
Polygon
change?
sliding review
Well,
scale.
with the thing changing, like, because I mean, that's, as we know from doing stuff with Checkpoint and things, that is something that the higher ups at game development companies do actually care about, is like, what is your Metacritic rating? And if they see it go from this to this,
Yeah. All of a sudden they start changing it.
and being able to point to exactly why that happened, then hopefully that will be.
I remember I think it was Dan.
Kick in the butt.
I think it was Dan Floyd from Extra Credits linked to a screenshot of Metacritic that it was like the Metacritic score for SimCity. This was like on day one was 90, I think it was, and the user scores, like the user review was like 20, because everyone was like, I can't connect. Fail.
Well, because a bunch of all the reviews were done on pre-release stuff on a dedicated server.
Yeah, when nobody had these problems.
So they're obviously they didn't have any problems.
Ugh.
People were complaining about that. They're like, "Oh, these reviews are stupid because they're done on a dedicated server." It's like, well, I had to play the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You
It's-
idiot.
yeah. They couldn't. I guess they could have like simulated 100,000 people
Yeah.
trying to connect at the same time.
That'd be
But-
bad.
Yeah.
It's just like everybody already hates you, EA. Like,
Why you got to give them all this?
why do you got to give them fuel? Like, you
Yeah,
could
because they're doing it.
you could have gotten so many brownie points here.
And it was all
and,
being
like,
like it was
ugh.
like connects through Origin too.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Everyone already hates Origin.
Yeah,
too.
everybody hates Origin. They hate EA. You could have saved some face here, boys, and you failed. So, congrats.
Yeah.
Now
So
they hate you more.
I look forward to playing SimCity someday,
Yeah.
though.
It does look.
Yeah,
super
it
neat.
looks. Yeah, I've watched a couple streamers, and it's definitely
It's-
like
the main criticism I've heard of the actual like game is that it's small. Is that the actual
It
like,
is.
area you get to build your city is quite a bit smaller than in previous SimCity games, and so that's gives you
wasn't the idea that you can make like it's like area like you can build here and then you expand out and you build here and they can connect, but they're not all
they're
one.
not one
They're
city,
not one
though.
city.
Yeah.
like you can build two cities and connect them,
Yes,
but they're not. But that's different. That's a lot different from having one big
that's fair.
city.
Yeah.
And so I mean that's obviously a side effect of the whole
Yeah.
everything being so detailed.
Yeah.
I realize though that I have, when I say I want to play it, I have basically it's a personal conflict I have to deal with, because of course everyone is quite right in saying that if you have a problem with this, you can't just complain, because EA does not give a crap.
Yeah. No.
Right. All they care about is their bottom line. So the
Yep.
the only way to send a message is to not buy it. And that's true. I completely agree with it. But I want to play this game.
Yeah, I know.
I actually really want to play it. But they're not getting my money right now. That's for sure.
Buy it used. There you go.
I don't think you can. Can
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, I don't think you can.
There's probably
Just-
no way to do
they're
that.
Just selling it through Origin.
Probably. I don't even know. I haven't gone looking for it. So
Anyways,
So yeah, SimCity looks like a lot of fun.
Too bad they broke it.
fix your shit, EA.
Yeah. If you're playing and they're able to get online, let us know what you think of it in the comments. Let us know what you think of
Tomb Raider and the Marios and the Raymans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for Tomb Raider. I want to try that definitely.
Definitely. We'll probably have to grab that for Unskippable.
True story.
Although I suppose I should play a different game if instead of going right from Far Cry to Tomb
Raider.
Raider.
I think
Because that's
yeah.
basically like the same exact.
Yeah, maybe take a
scenario.
break.
You should play Yakuza Dead Souls.
Yeah, something totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big city.
All right. Well, that's it for this week. But we will talk to you guys next time about those games that we played. Thanks for listening.
Bye bye.